Hello and how's it going, Elder Scrolls Nation? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest Bethesda Game Studios news. The bit of news that we're going to be talking about today is a definite release date window in which we can finally see Starfield. That's right, I just got done digging into the possible Elder Scrolls 6 Redfall trademark, and now you are in my sight, Starfield. You are the best hope that we have for replacing the long-dead Mass Effect. Press F to pay respects. Damn you, BioWare. Anyway, so using all the information that we learned from digging into the Redfall trademark, into the possible Elder Scrolls 6 trademark, I looked at the Starfield trademark and broke that thing down. Only we know what Starfield is. We don't necessarily know what the Redfall trademark is. I gave my thoughts in a video about why I think it's related and almost definitely the Elder Scrolls 6, but that's a whole different topic. We know what Starfield is. I dug deep into the Starfield trademark and I have a window of time in which we will probably see this game. Now, like we broke down in the previous video, remember that from the time that the trademark gets accepted by the US Trademark and Patent Office, Bethesda has 3 years to more or less finish developing the game and to prove to the Patent Office that they have a statement of use of their trademarked property. That means more or less they have to prove to the US Patent and Trademark Office that they're just not trademarking names and trying to collect names so that no one else can trademark anything. If you trademark something, you better have some sort of product related to it that is ready to go out within 3 years. Now, of course, I think there is some kind of loophole to this. Not really a loophole because it's a bit of a headache, but there is a way around this. If you look up, you can find canceled Starfield trademarks back from 2013, and that is because they expired in 2016. Bethesda didn't put the game out, obviously, yet, so the trademark got canceled. I don't know if they planned on putting it out or if they just wanted to get that name early on, but it's interesting to think about that Bethesda may have originally planned on releasing Starfield in 2016, but the game got pushed back for maybe the next generation of consoles or something. But anyway, I'm gonna show you what I found in the Starfield trademark like normal by recording my screen. That way you guys can see that my shit capacity meter is at 0%, and also that way I can protect myself. But anyway, let's get to the trademark. Here we are. Doesn't this look familiar? Look at this! Starfield! Look how familiar it is! Anyway, this is, as you've seen, what I used to dig into the Redfall trademark, only we're looking at you now, Starfield, and you can't hide because Skullzi's got you in his sights. Let's check this out. Now, what I want to show you first of all, before we just go randomly stumbling around this possible minefield of a copyright strike, let's look at the prosecution history, which we know is more or less the timeline of events taking place for the trademark process. Now, you'll see that originally it was put into the transit on April 14th, 2016, but that's not the date that's important. The date that you have to look for is right here. Look, SOU, Statement of Use Required, meaning 3 years from this date. Right here, Bethesda has to prove that they have a product more or less ready to go onto the market. Now, I estimate that it's possible that the US Patent and Trademark Office would give Bethesda or whoever a certain amount of time after they've proven their statement of use in order to actually get that product onto the market, but I don't estimate it to be any longer than a year, and I think a year is an overestimation of that time. It's probably more like 3 to 6 months, but I'm gonna say a year because that just seems like the most likely longest possible time. So anyway, back to this. October 15th, 2016 is the day that the US Patent Office looked at Bethesda and said, you guys need to prove that you're doing something with the Starfield trademark, otherwise we're gonna take it from you. And like I said, it's possible that because ZeniMax let the Starfield trademark run out before, that they could do it and just simply file it again, but I think that is risky because A, they'll have to pay at least $500+ just to refile the trademark, and B, all those lawyer and attorney fees related to filing the trademark can't be cheap, and C, if someone is cunning, swift, and capable, they might be able to swoop up and file the trademark for Starfield themselves while it is briefly up for grabs if Bethesda doesn't jump back on filing it immediately, which I think they would, but I don't think it's in Bethesda's best interest to let trademarks run out and get canceled just so they can reapply them. Like I said, that's risky and expensive, so they're gonna definitely try to get this game out within the 3-year time, especially because the Starfield trademark already was canceled and refiled once. So October 25th, 2016, remember that date. 3 years from that date is 2019, which is the year I've been saying I expect Starfield to be released for a long time. And what is the month right after October 25th, 2016? It is obviously November. I don't think I need to say that shit, but it's November, and November 11th, 2019 is when I have been saying Starfield will most likely be released. And if you look at this trademark document, which is obviously the official trademark, this isn't something I just typed up in my my garage. I don't know why I'd need to type it up in my garage as opposed to my office, but you know what I'm saying. This isn't fake. This is based on real trademark information, and based on the knowledge we gained from digging into the trademarks this whole time, we know that Bethesda would have to finish developing Starfield within 3 years, meaning they have to have the game pretty much done and ready to go on the market by October 25th, 2019, putting the release date of Starfield to be November of 2019. Mark my words, Elder Scrolls Nation. I'm calling it now. Now, before we go, let's take a little bit of a closer look into this trademark. There's not much else to be seen here, but there are a couple things I want to say. I've seen some comments where people say the font matters. Look up the font from Redfall and see if it matches Elder Scrolls font. But as you can see here, Bethesda doesn't do that. If they claim a name, they claim it in all of the possible font styles, sizes, and colors. So that way, they can not only file the trademark in just a standard font so people can't dig into that too deeply, but also so it protects them from other people trying to infringe on the copyright just by changing the font and the style, etc. Here, these are just trademarks for other things. Here, I guess I have to open it up in this same tab. This is just the international trademarks and stuff like that. Those aren't that important. If you want me to click on all of them just so you can see, they're just international random trademarks. None of this is anything that's necessarily important, just emails, ongoing emails between Bethesda, ZeniMax to be specifically, and the trademark company and stuff like that. Nothing important here. And then we need to go back, way back there. It is okay, Starfield, and then right here, I'm just going to show you guys the rest of the stuff. Currently, they filed, like I said, the intent to use, so you can see that they're still waiting on the SOU, but we already knew that. Current owners, ZeniMax, we knew that already. There's the attorney again. There's Anne, the attorney for ZeniMax, filing all these trademarks I'm digging into. And here is what we looked at before, the entire sequence of events about Starfield. The rest of this isn't that important, just more trademark staff, and these two never have anything, but the one thing I do want to show you is the documents and the file cabinet for Starfield. This is the original application, filed with Starfield when they were filing the trademark. This to look familiar. We dug into this with Redfall, but look at this. This is what's important right here. Search summary, X-search, extreme search summary. This is like some crazy, like, hidden Bethesda porn. No, I'm just kidding. What's interesting is right here. It looks like they typed in Starfield and any possible combination of Starfield into some sort of search database in order to see where exactly else on the internet and in the world the term Starfield was being used. They're probably testing out the validity of their name and if they should change the name of the game early on. So we get an early idea of how Bethesda works. And then check this out. Tram snapshot of app at pub. What is this? Not what you expect. This is just an update on the status of the trademark. Bethesda just kind of screenshots it, and this is seen multiple times throughout this. And then you have here emails between ZeniMax about extensions, the extension of time to file a statement of use. You can see ZeniMax is asking for an extension of time in order to provide an SOU. This is the law office assigned to this. It's just, here's the actual email here, the actual paperwork. This is the stuff that gets me nervous. I don't want to get copywritten by showing this. Again, like I said, this is all public domain, everyone. Public, maybe not public domain, but definitely fair use. So can't copy strike me, guys. Now, anyway, before I dig into this any further and the Dark Brotherhood shows up at my door, I'm gonna stop digging into this for now and stop showing all these emails. More or less, they're the same, just correspondence between ZeniMax and the US Patent and Trademark Office about statement of use extensions. But what I want to know is, what do you think about me discovering that the most likely release date up to this time based on trademark laws and what Bethesda is most likely to do? The Starfield release date will be November 2019. Let me know what you think about that and all of this digging down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet, it may get featured in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay in the know about Bethesda Game Studios news, next-gen gaming news, and the most controversial gaming news, because people keep trying to silence me, but I will not stop trying to bring you the real information and digging deep into this stuff. Also, follow me on Twitter for channel updates on when I'll upload videos next, and random memes and shit about me, and check out my Twitch channel where I've recently reached Twitch affiliate, and I am planning on making a streaming schedule, but because I'm doing daily YouTube uploads, I had to adjust stuff a bit, so I'm just trying to find a good balance between life, daily YouTube uploads, and the occasional Twitch stream. And if you want to have your hand in building future content and defending the channel from bullshit video takedowns, because it's sure to happen from time to time when I'm digging this deep, then consider subscribing to the community on Patreon, where you could earn unique and awesome awards. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard knocks on my door with expensive Italian coffee, sits me down, looks me in the eye, puts one hand on my knee, and asks me to stop doing this. I don't know what I would do. And why is he touching my knee? Get out of my house, Todd Howard! You did cheddar it.
It just works.